Hey everyone, in today's video I'm talking about my most anticipated films of 2026. With the new year, there is a huge slate of new releases on the way, and I am really excited for a lot of them. I want to talk about only my top 20 in this video with a few honorable mentions that I'm not going to go as in detail with, but let's just jump right into it because I don't want to waste any time. If you enjoy content like this, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. I plan on making a ton of more content talking about movies and shows and everything throughout the year, so stay tuned. And if you want to check out my Letterboxd, I have not only an entire list of upcoming releases for you to check out, but I also have my ranking of every film I saw last year that you can check out as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it. So, a few honorable mentions I want to get out of the way. Films that I'm looking forward to that I don't know much about are usually the ones I have in this area. So, first off, Dune Part 3. I haven't quite watched Dune Part 2 yet, so I know this one's going to be good. I just need to catch up with the franchise. The Backrooms, Kane Parsons, Kane Pixels, whatever you want to call him, he is making a Backrooms film. It is his debut feature-length film. I'm excited for it. I know nothing about it, so hopefully it's good. Avengers Doomsday, I'm very mixed on, but I am quite excited to see how it plays out in the grand scheme of things, so it's definitely going to go on here. Supergirl is another one I'm quite excited for, though not as excited as my main top 20, and I know nothing about the film. And my last honorable mention I'm going to throw on here is going to be Terrifier 4, and the only reason it's an honorable mention is because we don't know if it's actually coming out this year or not, so that being said, those are all of my honorable mentions. I don't have much to say about them other than I just wanted to throw them out there in case you didn't know they were on the way. And we're going to get right into the list. So, coming in at number 20 is going to be Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I don't know much about this movie, to be honest with you. All I know is that a time traveler from the future comes to the past to recruit people to save the planet. That's all I got for you. I haven't seen any films from the director. I don't know any people in the cast because I haven't had the time to look it up. All I know is that people I watch on YouTube who do what I do right now, they say it was really good in film festivals, it has some great reviews, and I'm excited to see it because it looks like a really good time, and the plot is really interesting. So, don't know much about it, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I've heard it's fantastic from a lot of people, so I'm really excited to check that one out. At number 19, a film that I have a much stronger opinion on is Clayface. It is definitely my most anticipated thing from the DCU coming out this year, and that is because, well, it's written by Mike Flanagan, it's directed by the director of Speak No Evil's remake, and it's gonna be weird. It's a Batman, like, C-tier villain getting a film adaptation based on 2 episodes of an animated series. I'm really excited to see what direction they're able to take this character because that is a very strange character, but the fact that James Gunn put everything to the side to push out this script, I have a feeling it's going to be quite good. At number 18 is going to be Spider-Man Brand New Day, my most anticipated superhero film of the year. I have a strong feeling this is going to be significantly better than Avengers Doomsday. This is the superhero film that I'm on the lookout for next year. Getting a more vigilante slash street level Spider-Man film that's going to be an intimate character story about Peter Parker sounds really interesting. Having the Punisher in it, it sounds pretty cool. Having Hulk in it is a very interesting choice. And Sadie Sink's character, possibly Jean Grey, possibly somebody else, is also a pretty interesting little character choice. I'm excited to see what they do with this. Destin Daniel Cretton, I hope I got his name right because I always butcher it because I speak really fast. Director of Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a fantastic addition to the MCU. One of the better movies to come out of the MCU post-Endgame. And I'm really excited to see what he can do with whatever he does with this movie. So, that being said, Spider-Man Brand New Day, number 18. Number 17 is Psycho Killer. I don't really know if I should be excited for this, but I am. It reminds me a lot of Longlegs based on the trailer, and I was a big fan of Longlegs. I know a lot of people weren't, but for me, Longlegs really clicked in the right way. So if it's anything like Longlegs, I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy this film, but Who knows? Follows a woman whose husband gets killed, and she has to track down the killer. Basically, I think she's a cop. Um, but yeah, apparently it's going to be a lot of stuff from the perspective of the killer. You're going to really get into his psyche and learn about the killer, is what it seems like. So I don't know much about it, but I'm kind of excited for it. It looks pretty good from the trailer, so I hope that it delivers. Don't want to have much else to say. Let's move on to number 16, Disclosure Day. This is Steven Spielberg's next big project. I'm shocked he's still even making movies. He's been doing this for so long. It looks like he's pivoting back to Aliens after a pretty long... I don't think he's had an Alien movie in a while. So, new Steven Spielberg Alien movie with Emily Blunt as kind of the front runner. It's exciting stuff. I'm excited to see what he does with it. There's definitely some possibilities for this film, and I hope that it is good. I'm going to be seated on day one. You know how I am, so we'll see how it goes. Coming in at number 15, one of the movies that I am the most skeptical about but the most excited for in the year is Scream 7. I recently did a Scream binge over October of last year because I'd only seen the original and Scream 5, so I wanted to watch all the other ones, and I was very, very pleased to announce that Scream is my favorite horror franchise. Scream, the original Scream, is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, probably my top 3 movies of all time, and the sequels, honestly, are all really good. I couldn't complain about a single one of the sequels for, as much as I could gloat about them also. Scream 7's trailer has me very, very worried for the direction of this franchise, but I'm holding out hope that Scream 7 is somehow, some way, a good film. I am still excited for it, even though I'm skeptical, so it goes on the list. Coming in at number 14, in a similar situation to Scream, is going to be Normal. Bob Odenkirk is playing a normal civilian guy who secretly has a John Wick-like assassin abilities. Nobody, the 2021 film, is one of my favorite action comedies of all time. Probably is my favorite action comedy of all time. I was not a huge fan of the sequel, pretty disappointed the direction they took that. So seeing him get to do it again with a new director, new writers, and a kind of new set piece in like the snowy atmosphere, I'm excited to see what they can do with this film. I hope it's good. Love Bob Odenkirk. I don't know much else about the plot, so I'm going to leave it there. Hoping it's good. Coming in at number 13, another film that I don't know much about other than it's Adam Scott is Hokum. I hope I'm saying the name right. Hokum. I believe it is Hokum, but I could be wrong. But this film looks creepy. It looks really creepy. I am very, very prone to when I see a movie that looks like it might scare the crap out of me, I am attached. I don't want to break away from it. I saw the trailer for this movie. Actually, when I went to see Keeper last year, the Osgood Perkins film, and me and my roommate were the only people in the theater by ourselves watching this film, and we saw this trailer and we looked at each other like, oh yeah, we got to see that one. So here's hoping that Hokum is good. Trailer looks really creepy. Adam Scott has been in a lot of stuff recently that has elevated his career to a new level, especially Severance. So here's hoping it's good. Holding out hope. Don't know much about the plot other than it's a horror movie, so we'll see. Coming in at number 12 is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I was a skeptic about the first film in this trilogy. I was thinking in my head that I'm not going to like it. I love zombie movies, but I was worried that it's really not going to be my style. And I actually walked away pretty surprised by 28 Years Later. I heard, of course, from my roommate that this was a planned trilogy, so the first one was going to be a lot of setup, and that's really how I felt about the first one, is that it is a lot of setup. I gave it a pretty high score in my review, but it was definitely a setup movie for a longer established franchise. But now that I know that the second movie, the trailer looks significantly more action-packed, we're getting Cillian Murphy back as his character Jim. I think I'm locked in for this movie. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it stands above all of the rest. But only time will tell. It looks pretty good, so holding out hope for this one. At number 11 is going to be Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic with Jafar Jackson, his nephew, playing him in the film. Um, I don't really know what to say about this one. I'm pretty determined that this is going to be one of the better movies to come out in the year. There's really nothing negative I can come up with in my mind. I have really no worries about this movie. It's one of the few movies on here that I think is just going to be a good, solid movie that I have really no negative things to say about. I'm excited to see what they do with this Michael Jackson biopic. I think it's going to be great. So, number 11. All right, we're getting into the top 10 now. My top 10 most anticipated. Let's talk about it. At number 10 is going to be Evil Dead Burn. I loved Evil Dead Rise. I have to admit, I haven't watched the original Evil Dead trilogy just because I haven't gotten around to it. Don't worry, that is a thing that will happen within the next week of my life, so I'm going to get it out of the way. But I liked Evil Dead Rise. I liked the remake, Evil Dead 2013. So I like this franchise. Really excited to see what they do. Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are still producing the film. It's a new director, so hoping it's good. I really like this franchise. Want to see them do great things. I'm holding out hope. It's at number 10. Coming in number 9 is going to be Send Help. This is Sam Raimi's new movie. I believe that it is his first non-superhero film since the 80s. That could be wrong. I don't know what other films he's directed other than Evil Dead, the Spider-Man trilogy, and Doctor Strange. Because if that's all he's directed, then yeah, this is his first non-superhero film since the 80s. Either way, though, the trailer looks pretty good. You've got these two people from a company, the kind of evil corporate boss, and then the woman who's being treated unfairly by corporate, and they get stranded on an island, and the tides turn in her favor on the island. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like it'll be a hell of a good time at the theater. I'm seeing this one the day after opening night. I already have my ticket lined up, so hoping it's good. Really excited to see what they do with it. And Send Help is at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Project Hail Mary. This is Ryan Gosling's next big movie where he plays a teacher that gets sent into space to, I believe, stop the sun from exploding or stop some kind of life-threatening event, basically. It looks like it's going to be a very intimate character study style movie, so probably not going to be like a huge budget sci-fi action feature, but I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be a fun movie to watch, especially with my roommate. We're just going to, go to the theater and hang out and kind of, vibe with this movie. So, hoping it's good. Put it up high on my list because I love Ryan Gosling. He's in 2 of my favorite films of all time, Blade Runner and Drive. And if it's anything like those where he does these, more quiet, character-driven moments, then yeah, I can see this film being one of my favorites of the year. So, Project Hail Mary at number 8. At number 7 is going to be Robert Eggers' Werewolf. Nosferatu was my favorite film of 2024 when that came out. I love The Lighthouse, not too big on The Witch, and I haven't seen The Northman, but Robert Eggers has pretty much proven to me that he's really capable of directing these period piece films, and Werewolf, he says, is his darkest script he's ever written. Lily Rose Depp, I believe, is returning for Werewolf after the success of Nosferatu. So, if she's coming back, her performance in that movie was stellar. So, hoping she does something similar with Werewolf. And I have no negative things to say. I think this movie is going to come out at the end of the year in December. It's going to be absolutely a spectacle. And then it's going to be remembered in cinema history. I'm excited to see Werewolf. It's got to be in my top 10. At number 6 is a film that I didn't even know existed until earlier this week, and that is Undertone. I first heard about this, funny enough, from a random Twitter post from a Film Insider account that said a film and a directorial debut horror film got picked up for over 7 figures by a studio called Undertone. And I said, whoa, that's a lot of money for a directorial debut. Are we sure about this? And then I saw the trailer thinking in my head, this movie is going to be bad, isn't it? This is not going to be an interesting film. It's going to be a weapons situation for me where it's hyped up really highly, lots of money are spent on it, critics really love it, and then it doesn't click with me in the same way. I don't know. I think I might be wrong because the trailer, I was home alone when I watched the trailer for the first time. I literally had to stop it midway through. The sound design is insane. I was listening with headphones in and I had to pause that trailer. Oh my god. I was tweaking after that. I was tweaking. That trailer got me. I finished it of course, but yeah. I am excited for this film now. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic in a audio design and like horror sequence kind of situation. But I am worried that the movie's plot is going to be kind of lackluster. I have a feeling it's going to be a keeper situation for me where the movie is genuinely really tense and there's a lot of really good ideas, but then the execution and especially the ending are very, very lackluster in comparison to the rest of the movie. I could be wrong, but that's why it's at number 6 and not like number 2. So, yeah. At number 5 is Return to Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 is probably in my top 3 favorite games of all time, and we're finally getting a screen adaptation of it that is directed by Christoph Gaines, the guy who directed the only good Silent Hill adaptation, which is Silent Hill from the early 2000s. It's still not a fantastic movie, but it's decent enough, and getting to see a Silent Hill 2 adaptation by the guy who made a good Silent Hill adaptation, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it will be good. This movie actually comes out in like 2 weeks. I'm probably going to go see it on opening night, so wish me luck. At number 4 is going to be Zach Cregger's Resident Evil. Zach Cregger, I already mentioned in this video, Weapons, how I'm a little, I was not a big fan. It didn't really click with me. So Zach Cregger is a director that I'm still not 100% on the fence for. I loved Barbarian. I wasn't really sold on Weapons. But I do think he can make a good Resident Evil movie. And here's why. What I didn't like about Weapons was when the comedy would undercut the tension of the film. However, I do think that Resident Evil would benefit from comedy undercutting the tension. So, giving Zach Cregger reins on Resident Evil to make his own little version of Resident Evil, I think it could work. I think Zach Cregger is one of the few people on planet Earth who could have been given this IP and could actually make a good film with it. It is disappointing that we're not getting a one-to-one adaptation of one of the games. I would have much preferred a, Resident Evil 4 or, hell, even a Resident Evil, 2 and 3 little combo movie kind of adaptation would have been fine with me. Something that was just better than Welcome to Raccoon City. But, I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I have faith in Zach Cregger, even if I didn't like his last movie. And I love Resident Evil. It's one of my favorite game franchises of all time. So, Resident Evil at number 4. At number 3, I have Iron Lung. This is Markiplier's directorial debut and also his first... he's writing, directing, and starring in the film, but it's his directorial debut. And, yeah, I'm really excited to see what this movie does. It's one of my most anticipated because it is Markiplier. I love Markiplier. I've been watching him for a long time. He's the reason I got into Five Nights at Freddy's, and in my 2025 rank, that was really high up there. I've just been watching him for a long time. His TV show, his little YouTube miniseries, I thought were all excellent. I think he has really, really high aspirations as a filmmaker, and I think that he can totally, totally nail the tone and style of Iron Lung. And so when I see this one on opening night in just a few weeks, I will be locked into that seat. Don't have much else to say. I hope this film is good. I'm praying that it is. It's at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Obsession. This movie I have heard glaze upon glaze. I've heard nothing but positivity about this movie. This is Curry Barker's feature-length debut film. I've heard so many film festival people say that this movie's incredible. The critics are raving about it. I've heard it's pretty dark and twisted. I don't know what else to say. I think this movie is going to be a really, really great time at the movie theater. I think it's going to be scary. I think the plot is going to be exquisite. I am excited to see what Curry Barker cooks up with Obsession and hoping that it skyrockets him to a well and prosperous career, because if it does, then I can only imagine what other things he could cook up. So, Obsession at number 2. And at number 1, I think this is probably everybody's number 1 pick, because, like, why wouldn't it be? At number 1 is The Odyssey. Yeah, I'm a sucker. Christopher Nolan is one of the few directors who just constantly is putting butts in seats by just his name alone. You tell me Christopher Nolan's making a new movie, yeah, I'm seated. And especially an adaptation of The Odyssey, a kind of mythic, fantastical story, I'm definitely seated, because that is not Christopher Nolan's wheelhouse at all. This is a very unique little pivot for him, coming off of Oppenheimer especially. So, I'm really excited to see what this movie does. I think The Odyssey is going to be probably the biggest success of 2026, probably the safest bet of any film coming out this year. I'm sold on it. I will be seated in the summer. And yeah, there you go. There's my list of my most anticipated 2026 films. There are tons of other movies coming out next year. Like I said, if you want to see the full list of all of the films I'm planning on watching, you can go and check that out on my Letterboxd. Right now it's at 59 films. Of course, I'm going to update it throughout the earlier parts of the year. And I'm not going to be touching any of them. I'm going to be keeping them in the order I have them, because they are ranked and numbered based on how excited I am for them, so that at the end of the year, when I do my ranking of all of the films I watch, I can compare and contrast and see, oh, I was really excited for this, but wow, it sucked. Or I was really excited for this, and yeah, it met my expectations. So stay tuned for that at the end of the year. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and you stay around, because I'm going to be dropping tons of movie reviews throughout the year. You're going to see my Iron Lung review, a Primate review coming soon, a Dead Man's Wire review coming soon, my Send Help review. All of these films that are coming out soon, you're going to see reviews for, so if you want to check those out, please leave a like and subscribe on this video. And yeah, I will see you all in that next one.